Sailor Moon here, Serena here, and today I'm gonna make a talk about a Santa Claus segment or a skit that happened way early than WWE normally does. So this one took place on the Halloween episode of Monday Night Raw. Now I know you're thinking that a lot of people do try to you're thinking, no, they didn't do it. No, not in the actual transitional sense, but it was Heath Slater and Rhino. We're going as Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. They were taking on Luke Gallows and Cal Anderson, going as their counterpart tag team from Southpaw Regional Wrestling. Now, you might think to yourself, why would WWE do that, knowing that it was technically October, it was Halloween, but my guess was costume. Heath Slater and Rhino were going as we're going as Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. And even though it probably made some sense giving to the fact that they had to find matching outfits, So I think that when Heath Slater went as Santa Claus and Rhino went as Mrs. Claus, yeah, I kid you not, they had to have the match. So that's probably why they tagged up as that, And yes, during this match, there was a lot of things going on in it. And since it was a Halloween episode, unfortunately, there were a lot of Halloween aspects to it. So, but I can even consider this, if you want to consider this a Santa Claus segment or a Santa Claus skit, then you can. There had probably, even though people were going to say that's odd. I mean, if you saw two Santa Clauses pick up pumpkins and throw them or hit them in the heads of their opponents, or see a Santa Claus Santa Claus is trying to, use walking staffs on people, then that was okay. Yeah, I know it's far-fetched to see Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus pick up pumpkins and hit their opponents with them. I know you find it odd, but that's what was going on in this match. I mean, Rhino did do a lot of things that he does, going as Mrs. Claus. I guess they could have had two male Santa Clauses, but that's what they said. That's what he was going as, and and Heath Slater was going as Santa Claus, so it counted as a Santa Claus segment. And they put Luke Gallows and Cal Anderson, who were going as their tag team counterpart from Southpaw Regional Wrestling. I mean, yeah. So it does qualify as a Santa Claus segment, even though technically it happened way early than it does. Now, I know there's going to be some people who are going to say, does that mean WWE isn't going to do a Santa Claus segment? They probably are. I mean, it's going to probably be on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. Maybe on NXT, even though they haven't really done it there. It's going to probably be on Raw Talk or something, but there is going to be, I guess, a Santa Claus segment. I hope so. Now, I can't say the same for IW, since IW hasn't done any more Santa Claus segments since the 2012 AD Santa Claus segment. So, yes, Heath Slater going as Santa Claus, Rhino going as Mrs. Claus, going against Luke Gallows and Cal Anderson going as Seth, I forget the names of the tag teams they were going as. But the point of it is that they were going as Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. So yes, it does qualify as a way early Santa Claus segment. And, so tell me what you think. That's basically all I'm going to say right now. It's our early Santa Claus segment, but it does count as a Santa Claus segment. And if you go on TWF Cool 123 and look up WF, WWE, WCW, TNA Santa Claus, well, also once a sundry as Independence, you will find 2 clips from that match that were saved. I couldn't find any full matches, but I could only find clips of it to save. So anyway, regardless of all that, it was a Santa Claus segment. Heath Slater and Rhino did go as Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. That's exactly what he was going as. You know, I know there's going to be people thinking, was that a mistake? No. If it was a mistake, then Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn and Hunter Helmsley would have corrected them. But obviously it wasn't a mistake. Heath Slater went as Santa Claus and Rhino went as Mrs. Claus. You know. So that's about it. I'm Sailor Moon Serena. Hope you enjoyed this moving show.